Hello, and welcome to this week's edition of Your Wealth Matters, brought to you by the team of Your Wealth Advisors. I'm your host, Kristen Oakley, and joining me in the studio, we have Ryan Cunningham, who is the founder. We are so glad that you're hanging out with us today. And as we kick off today's show, one of the things that we want to highlight is sometimes the hardest part about moving forward is realizing that you may have outgrown where you currently are. And so the question that we want to pose to you today is it time for you to break up with your current financial advisor? Because here's the reality: when it comes to your money, staying in the wrong relationship could cost you costly mistakes that extend throughout the rest of your retirement, and we don't want that to happen for you. So Ryan, my friend, so good to be here with you this week. This is going to be a fun and very informative conversation.
Yeah, this is a fun conversation. It's not always an easy conversation, right? But it is a fun one, and I'm excited to be here to do this with you and to bring this to the people that we get to.
Yes, well, me as well. And we were talking before the show, how many of you watching can relate if we're using this analogy of a romantic relationship where you might have went through a really bad breakup and maybe you're saying to yourself, yeah, I should have broken up with that jerk over a year ago, right? Been there, done that. I don't know if that ever happened to you, but a lot of people can relate to, okay, you don't want to stay in a relationship that's not in your best interest.
Yeah.
But yet it's amazing when it comes to our finances, how many people do. And I know you see this.
Yeah, unfortunately, we see it all the time. And I think that it is where people operate from a stance of fear of hurting someone's feeling or having to have that uncomfortable conversation. And the reality is, at the end of the day, this is your retirement. This is your money. You got to do what's best for you.
So true.
And it doesn't mean that it has to be an ugly situation. It doesn't mean that it has to be negative, but it means that it's time that you take control of what you have and who's working with you.
Exactly, for sure. And it's okay to be a little bit selfish when it comes to your money and making sure that it's in alignment and that what you have is in fact going to be serving your best interests. So before we get into the meat of what we're going to be talking about today, we do want to share a very special resource that we are unveiling for you for the very first time. We call it our Retirement Reality Check quiz. And you can access this quiz by visiting ywquiz.com or by scanning that QR code. Ryan, explain to our viewers what benefit they're going to receive from utilizing this resource.
Yeah, this is a simple 7-minute quiz that's really going to open your eyes and to let you see kind of an honest look, right, of where you're at with your income, where you're at with your retirement, where you're at with your risk. It's a general picture of where you're at and are you ready, right? Are you really where you think you are, or is it time to maybe
make a change?
Make a change.
Yeah, for sure. Well, as you said, you see this in your office all the time. A lot of times folks come to you because they want a second opinion, which is so wise and so smart to do. And not just folks who might already be working with another financial advisor, but maybe for those of you out there who are the do-it-yourselfers. Guess what? It might be time for you to break up with yourself, at least from a financial perspective, because here's the deal too. So much changes once someone enters retirement. It gets a lot more complex, and what used to work, or the person that you were working with up to this point, might have done a really good job for you, but it may not be the best fit to help you get to where you want to go. So first question I have for you, let's start with this moment of realization, okay? So what typically occurs that causes someone to recognize, okay, it might be time for me to make a change of who's handling my money?
I think the most common thing that people realize that get this realization is they see what their friends are doing, right? Or they hear that the people that they work with are making this transition into retirement, and they've never even had the conversation with their advisors about retiring, right? They have no idea how to do that. Or they just say, you know what, I haven't even seen or talked to my advisor in 2 years. And unfortunately, that is a very common thing that we see in this business, is that they sell you whatever it is, and then you never hear from them again. And so that is maybe the wake-up call that says, maybe it's time to do it. Or as you said, maybe they're that DIYer, and they're like, you know what? There's a lot of movement going on in the markets today, and this is over my pay grade. And it may be that time to where you say, maybe it is time that I look at getting an outside source or a different source to give me some advice.
Right. Well, I think too, just the complexity of what occurs once you enter this retirement phase, because it's one thing when you're working and saving and you're accumulating and growing your wealth. But it gets a lot more complicated when now you're introducing Social Security into the picture, Medicare planning into the picture. You've got tax planning, RMDs, those required minimum distributions. So much more can just muddy the waters. And if you're not working with the right kind of professional, I mean, how you make a decision in one area can completely mess up all the other areas of your financial life.
100%. And a lot of people, go to their financial advisors to get growth. They think that's what the role of a financial advisor is to help them grow their account values. And the reality is, there is so much more to it than that. As you just mentioned, you've got, income, you've got Social Security that's going to play a part in everything that you have. Medicare, how do you navigate the systems of Medicare, right? And then you get into the new laws and the ages where they start saying, hey, we want some of your money. That required minimum distribution comes up. And if your advisors aren't talking to you about that, listen, it's time that you take control of your
hard-earned wealth. Yeah, no, exactly.
For
sure. Because again, success in retirement is not about how much you have, it's about how much you get to keep. And a lot of folks are completely unprepared for all the ways that their wealth can be eroded over time in the absence of looking at how all these things fit together. What are some of the other red flags that someone might notice or help them see, okay, I might not be with the best advisor for me at this stage of life?
There's a number of things that cause red flags. One right now that sticks out to me is you look back at your investments and nothing's changed in the last 12 months. And if nothing's changed in the last 12 months, well, then what are you doing? What is your advisor doing for you? Because there's been a lot of volatility.
Yes.
There's been a lot of changes in the infrastructure of our economy and in the global infrastructure. And you should be having someone work for you that's keeping up with those changes. Or what if they just never hear from their advisors?
I was going to say that lack of communication, right?
I tell people in our live events all the time, you should be working with somebody that has good communication with you, because at the end of the day, you're paying us. And if you're paying them and you're the one that has to call them, why are you paying them? At a very minimum, they should be talking to you annually. We take a little bit of a different approach with our clients. We want to be hands-on. We take an approach that says, you know what, we want you to be a part of our family and we want to be a part of your family. And so we're going to reach out to you often, whether that's through a client event or that's just us saying, hey, Joe, you know what? You're doing great. Your accounts are doing exactly what we wanted them to do and you're doing great. Or, hey, we need to have you come in and we need to sit down and do a review. And there's some things that we need to change based upon what you said you wanted in retirement. So it's more than just, hey, is my account value growing? Right? It's how's it working for you? And that is why people are starting to say, maybe change is needed.
Yeah. Well, and for sure, this is why I love that we're unveiling this retirement reality check quiz for all of you. Again, you can access that by going to ywquiz.com. And for those of you who are already working with another financial professional, the question I would pose to you is, do you have enough confidence in your current financial advisor or your current financial plan to look at this quiz and really see, okay, where might there be some potential gaps? Where might there be some things that haven't been paid attention to that need to be? And I think that's the eye-opening thing, right? It's a safe way for folks to just kind of take an internal stock of where they're at and what needs to be looked at a little bit deeper.
Yeah, I have a number of clients that come to mind when I talk about this type of stuff, but this particular client works with a very well-known advisor who's actually a dear friend of mine, which makes it unique. But they came into our office after coming to one of our live events and they said, you know what? We love our advisor. Our advisor has done great things for us, but never has he mentioned Social Security.
Wow, yeah.
Never has he talked to us about Medicare. We have no idea what is coming up, and we're 66 years old and getting ready to retire. We're lucky we're on our group plans for health insurance right now, but I was talking to my neighbor and Medicare is terrifying. And I said, okay, well, unfortunately, you're not on an island.
Right.
Unfortunately, that is a common status that we hear. People come in and their advisors haven't talked to them about full planning.
Right.
And I think that's where we're going to be different, and where Your Wealth Advisors is really separating ourselves from everybody around us, is we want to be your quarterback. We want to be the person that helps you put together your entire plan, from your Social Security optimization to your Medicare, to your growth, to your safety, to your income, to whatever it may be. And then you have that confidence that says, you know what? As the life in the world changes, I know my advisor is looking out for me.
Yes, and looking at things from that comprehensive, holistic perspective.
Absolutely.
So Ryan, thank you so much. I'm excited to continue this important conversation with you. But if this is resonating with you at all, or if maybe you're like this person who you're working with another financial advisor, but they're not having these kinds of conversations with you, you owe it to yourself to get a second opinion. And you can't get a second opinion from the same person who gave you the first. So we encourage you to reach out to the team of Your Wealth Advisors and receive that second opinion in the form of your very own complimentary written financial plan. 844-411-3050 is the number to call to schedule yours. Or if you'd rather connect online, simply scan that QR code and that will get you connected as well. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, Ryan is actually going to peel back the curtain and expose some of the limitations that currently exist within the corporate world of financial planning and show you the difference of what that can mean for you by working with an independent advisor. Stay with us.
School, I was an accounting major, and my plan was to go into being a CPA. And then I kind of dove into an internship at a financial firm, and then later learned that I loved helping people that way. I actually worked in a field prior to this where we were not independent and we were captive. I did not like that because I didn't feel like we were able to provide the clients exactly what they needed. We were told what it was we could sell them and had to make it fit their needs. And we just didn't agree with that. And so going on to an independent firm, now we can offer them whatever it is that we feel best fits their needs. And I think that's been a game changer for them. Peace of mind is everything. People understanding that they're not going to outlive their money, that there are ways to re-strategize their plans, and there are multiple buckets to fulfill to make sure that every aspect of financial retirement is covered. And I also want them to feel like they are noticed and they are one of us, and they aren't just another person in our firm. That's huge to me. I often refer to our firm as a boutique firm. I think of them as my family. Like, I would truly invite my clients to my dinner table with my children. I absolutely adore my clients, and I just love being able to help them in any way that I can.
Welcome back to Your Wealth Matters. I'm Kristen Oakley here with Ryan Cunningham, founder of Your Wealth Advisors, and we're so glad you're hanging out with us today. If you're just tuning in, we started off today's show with an important question for you. That is it time for you to break up with your current financial advisor? And one of the issues, and Ryan, you touched on this earlier, and actually I'm smiling so big because we just had that wonderful commercial with your beautiful wife, Paige. She did a great job.
She kills it.
I mean, how do you not smile every time you look at her?
I have to constantly pinch myself that I got this lucky.
Oh, well, I know you love her, your clients love her, I love her too. And one of the things she highlighted in that commercial so beautifully was her previous experience of working for a corporate firm. And so much of our industry is only focused on the investment management piece, right? But beyond that, there's some really distinct limitations between working with a corporate financial firm and working with independent advisors such as yourself. So can you shed some light on what those limitations are?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, when you work with the big box and you work with these corporate groups, it's an unfortunate thing, but at the end of the day, they're told what they can offer to you. Mm-hmm. And it may not be what's best for you, but it's what they have to make fit into your situation because that's what they're told they need to push.
And they can only offer what that company offers.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah. Because prior to having our own firm, we were in a captive organization. And while it was a great company and we loved working with them, we had to make their product fit to our client. Mm-hmm. And now, being a true independent firm, we don't have to worry about that.
Right.
Whatever fits, whatever is best for that individual client is what we bring to the table. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the biggest differentiator in working with your big box groups and working with your independent channels is that what's available to you.
Yes. Yep.
Right. And I've heard from other advisors, hey, I can do all of that. Well, then why don't you?
Right. Yep.
What are you waiting on? Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm. And then it comes down to it. Hey, all right, maybe I'm not able to do that.
Right.
And it doesn't matter what the investment is. Mm-hmm. Right. There's a difference in being told what you can offer to your clients and then being able to offer what's best for your client.
And when you work for a corporate firm, you are beholden to what they tell you to do. Whereas in this situation, the only person you're working for are your clients,
That's right?
That's your boss, which
Yeah,
is
that's right.
great.
That's the best thing about this is
Yes.
every single time we have a new meeting, that's a new boss that I get to meet, right? Now, it gives a little bit of fear, right, that I have to impress our new boss. But at the end of the day, we are a firm that believes that education is power, and we want to help educate you on what is available to you, not what we want it to be for you. I tell my clients all the time, it is not my money. It is not my retirement.
Yes.
This is yours.
Yep.
And it needs to fit what you want. Because what I want is going to be different. Right?
Right.
And so it doesn't matter what I want. It doesn't matter what your advisor wants. It's what do you want it to be? What do you want your retirement to look like?
Right. Your job is to present the recommendations after you hear what they want their retirement to look like. But at the end of the day, it's your money. You get to decide what you want to do. You're simply providing options and showing them what could be best for them.
Yeah, I think that it's true that you're almost out there on an island, even when you work with an advisor in a big box firm, because you're not getting the level of service that you should be getting.
Right. You're more of a number,
unfortunately. Unfortunately, you are. You're a
Yep.
number, right? And then life happens to you, and you're sitting back and you're wondering, well, why was no one telling me about this? Why did I not know that was available?
Yep.
We have a client on more than one occasion, but one that's he's a unique person, and I love getting to meet these unique people and learning about them. But he came into our office and he'd been with a big, well-known big box firm for the last 15 years. His parents were with him, he's with them, and we go through and figure out what it is he's looking to accomplish. And when we then present to him what was available to him, he says to me, why has no one ever said this to me before? Why am I just now hearing that this is an option? I'm 68 years old. If I had learned about this 10 years ago, I would be in a dramatically different situation than I am today.
Yeah, so true. And that's true for so many people.
So many people.
Yeah.
And so it may be that time.
It might be time to break up, as we're saying, right? Yeah. And I think too, like you said earlier, it's okay to be selfish, right? Like this is your financial situation. You need to do what's best for you. But I know that a lot of people are often maybe hesitant to make a change. Talk about that. Why do people often stay in a financial relationship that's not the best for them, even if they know, okay, I need to do something different?
I take this back to, I have 5 kids, 4 girls, right? And thank God I'm not at the place to where they're dating, at least that I know about yet. But I imagine the conversation with my oldest daughter is going to be very similar to the conversation that I have with clients in this regard. And it's not about your feelings at this point. It's about what's best for you. It doesn't have to be an ugly breakup.
Right.
It can be amicable. But at the end of the day, are you getting what you should be getting out of the relationship? You're paying for it. Right? Hopefully I never say that to my kids. Right?
Yeah.
But you're
a little bit different. That's where the analogy takes a divergent course.
You're paying your advisor. Are you getting what you should be for the fee that you're charged?
Right. Are you getting the value? Right?
100%.
Yeah.
And that value is going to be different for everybody. Right? I think the easiest way to figure out that value is, do you talk to them? Do they call you, or do you have to call them?
Right. Yeah.
Right? Because listen, if you're having to call your advisor and say, hey, is my money okay? Or, hey, I'm getting ready to retire. Do I need to do anything?
What do I need to do?
Hey, I'm on Medicare. What do I need to do? Unfortunately, your run with that advisor maybe has come to an end, and it's time that you find somebody that is able to do a full scope plan and a holistic style plan for you.
So explain that difference. When folks call into the show, they connect with you and the team to receive this complimentary written financial plan. What all are they actually going to get?
Yeah, so when you call into the show and we schedule you into our office, or we schedule you in for a Zoom, you're going to get a couple of things. Number one is we're going to take the time to really figure out what is it that you want. Once we've gathered all the information and we've put together what it is that you're looking for, we're going to actually give you a written plan that you are going to be able to hold, and you're going to be able to say, okay, this is now something that I can follow. From there, you will then have the choice to say, do I do this or do I do that? It's not an obligation to work with me. While we want the opportunity to work with everybody, I understand we're not for everybody and everybody's not for us. You got to find who's your person. It's no different than a relationship of dating, or you got to find your person.
Yes.
Because we all do different things. At the end of the day, we all do the same but different things. And you got to find that right person. And with us, we are a firm believer of education. And so we're not just going to give you a big packet of paper that says, here's, go figure it out.
Right.
We're going to walk you through it step by step. We're going to educate you along the process and then help you make educated decisions that are best for you.
Wonderful.
It doesn't matter what's best for the firm.
Yeah.
Right? I learned this a long time ago. What's best for me is not what's best for my clients.
Right.
And if we do what's right for our clients, you guys will come back to me time and time again and tell us about your friends and tell your friends about us. And that's what we ultimately want.
Yes, and that's the difference,
Yeah.
Ryan. Thank you so much. I'm so excited for more folks to get to experience that difference. So if that's you, or maybe you've gone to this resource that we've given you today, ywquiz.com, and you're realizing, guess what? There are some gaps in your current financial plan or lack thereof. We invite you to take advantage of this opportunity. This is for no cost, no charge, and no obligation. It's simply an invitation to have a conversation to see how Ryan and the team of Your Wealth Advisors can help and serve you. But you do need to reach out. So we encourage you to do so. You can either call 844-411-3050, or if you prefer connecting online, simply scan that QR code and that will get you connected as well. Stay with us. We'll continue this conversation on, is it time for you to break up with your financial advisor? And if so, we've got the solution on how to make this transition smooth for you right after this.
You spent a lifetime building your wealth, but without an estate plan, the future of your assets may be uncertain. It's not just about having a will, it's about protecting what you've built and making sure it ends up in the right hands with minimal stress for your loved ones. Our estate planning readiness quiz helps you quickly assess whether you're prepared from a legacy standpoint. It's fast, free, and it highlights where you may need to take action. Scan the QR code on the screen or visit ywlegacyquiz.com to take the quiz today.
Welcome back to Your Wealth Matters, and we're so glad you're spending this time with us today. We've been addressing that question of, is it time for you to break up with your current financial advisor? And we know that sometimes it can feel really difficult to make a change. I think, Ryan, as humans, we have a hard time with change, right? But yet that's the only constant in life. Just re-presence for folks, what often keeps people from making this change? And then we're going to provide the solution on how to do it smoothly, right?
Yeah, the number one thing I think that people are terrified in change is confrontation. You know, and unfortunately thinking that it's going to be a negative experience, and shame on whoever if it is, right? It doesn't have to be. It has to be what's best for you. At the end of the day, it's a simple process. It really is. It's a matter of just doing the quiz, coming in for a free complimentary consultation, and figuring out, do we fit your needs? Am I going to be different than your current advisor? Yes. Are we going to do things different? Hopefully, right? But at the end of the day, what I know we're going to do is we're going to make sure that you know what you have and how it works, and that you feel confident in the choices that you are making for retirement.
Perfect. Well, let's break this down and talk about the transition. What does that actually look like? Because I think sometimes folks are also scared of, oh my gosh, this is going to take so much time, or am I going to have to fill out all this paperwork? So talk about what that actually looks like. Yeah,
so it starts with your complimentary review and then getting your complimentary written plan. From there, we're able to sit down with you and figure out, what can we do to implement this plan? It doesn't have to be a long, drawn-out process. It's actually fairly quick. The technology is a fantastic thing in today's world, but what it does is it gives you the ability to have control of every step of the process. And for me, I know if I was in that position and I'm looking to make a change, I want to make sure that I'm in control in making that change,
right?
Whether it's in control of the timing or in control of the results or in control of the outcome. And so that is the biggest piece. Set up your time for a free complimentary consultation, do the quiz online. Let us help you figure out, do you need to make a change? You may not.
Right.
You may not need to make a change.
I was going to say, because a lot of times when folks come in for a second opinion, you know, if someone's doing what they need to be doing, you're going to encourage them to keep doing it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it,
listen,
right?
I'll be the first one. My firm is the first one to tell you, if it is working, why do we need to change it?
Right. Yep.
Right? That's not the purpose. Then we're doing our business backwards. And that's not how we built our firm. Our firm is built upon educating you and what's available to you. So you will know if you're in a good spot, hey, we're going to tell you. But if you're not in a good spot,
right,
and what you're doing is not accomplishing your goal, we're going to also tell you, and we're going to encourage you to make a move.
Now, how often do you find that there is nothing to tweak? Has that ever happened?
Happens all the time.
Okay.
Yeah, all the time. I would say probably every week at least. We meet with somebody that we have to look at them in the eye and say, you know what, hey, you've done a great job. Well done. Thank your advisor for what you've done. In the event that you have any other questions, we want to be here to help, but you don't need to make a move.
And that's got to be so freeing and reassuring and giving that person confidence too, right?
Yeah,
To know that.
it's funny. What ultimately happens, I would say the majority of the time, is they call back at some point.
When their needs change.
When their needs change, or, even bigger and better than that, they say, you know what, we're still comfortable with our advisor, but I referred you to our friend. The fact that you said that we were in a good place, I like you, I like what you're doing, I like your firm, we went ahead and referred. There is no better gift in our business than a referral.
Absolutely.
And so at the end of the day, again, I am a firm believer, and our business is a firm believer in education and making sure that you know what you have and how it works. And if it works, why fix it? Why break it?
Yep, for sure. Well, for folks who have made that transition, what's the biggest difference that they've said to you that they have experienced as a result of moving, let's say, from the corporate big box firms to your team?
The biggest difference, I think people say, is education. They know what they have, and they know how it works. The other piece that I think sets us apart is the family atmosphere. Whether it's coming to one of our events, whether it's coming to one of our client events, or getting one of the gift baskets that we send, or just a little thank you note, I think that the personal touch that my wife has actually implemented in our business has really taken it to the next level, and something that I'm the worst at. Right? I'm not good at giving cards. My wife will tell you that I'm the worst. I buy them. I just leave them in the drawer and forget to write on them and give them to her.
Nice.
Right? But for our business and for our clients, we take that extra step and we go the extra mile because we want you to know. We know that you have choices, but we want to be your choice. So take the quiz, ywquiz.com, or give us a call and schedule a free complimentary consultation. We would love nothing more than to let you know we can help you or that you're in a good spot.
Wonderful. Ryan, thank you so much. I've really thought that this conversation today was very informative and helpful, as it is each and every week. Such a joy to do this show with you.
Absolutely.
And thank you all for watching. Again, that number to call to schedule your time to receive your complimentary written financial plan is there for you on the bottom of your screen. 844-411-3050, or you're welcome to scan that QR code and that will get you connected as well. Thanks so much for watching. Be blessed, and always remember, your wealth matters, and the team of Your Wealth Advisors is here for you. We'll see you next time.